Beer me, Blazer.
Big bye week. Let's get into it. Quarterback ads first. We're gonna talk our boy, famous Jameis, my favorite person in in the NFL, probably, at least at the quarterback position for sure. Yeah, I love watching Jameis Winston play, but Jameis Winston only 22% roster. He plays Seattle in Week 7. So if you got Josh Allen or you got Justin Herbert or Dak Prescott, you might want to go pick up Jameis Winston going up against Seattle Seahawks, who are letting up the 4th most passing yards against quarterbacks or passing yards in general. I love that. I have Jameis Winston in the league. I'm excited to line him up. Yeah, anything you want to say on Jameis? Famous Jameis?
This is the first week that Michael Thomas is eligible to come off the PUP.
Yeah, we'll see.
The physically unable to perform list. So a couple reports coming out saying that it's unlikely that he'll come off the PUP and come back for this week. But I don't know. It's the NFL. You never know what happens. Obviously, if Michael Thomas is there, it's only going to boost this passing attack for the Saints.
Yeah, definitely. And then I also wrote on my notes, I don't know if you guys watched the Steelers-Seahawks game, but Jamal Adams is like their guy on their defense, and Big Ben couldn't have thrown it more right into his face. It literally hit him in the face, and he couldn't intercept the ball. So, Jameis Winston throws hella interceptions, but I think it's a safe play this week. It was a really funny play, though. So I love Jameis Winston. And you could watch that game and get some laughs in it because Jameis will do something that's memeable for sure. I was sad. Let's go. Do you want to go on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Let's go on to our boy Carson Wentz. Indianapolis Colts quarterback. It's not the sexiest play against the Niners this week, but you might be in a spot. Carson Wentz is 18% rostered. He put up 24 points against Baltimore, if that gives you extra confidence. The Niners defense hasn't been that great. Like, they're kind of middle tier. They're not like giving it up, but they're not they're not easy. It's not an easy matchup. What do you think about Carson Wentz?
He's had a pretty safe floor for the most part. It's like 17 or more points in, 5 of the 6 games that he's played. They get T.Y. Hilton back this last week. He looked pretty decent, T.Y. Hilton here. Obviously, it's a game where they were smacking the Texans, so they don't have to throw the ball a ton. But, I'm not the biggest fan of him traveling to San Francisco this week. San Francisco coming off a bye. Just extra time to prepare. The 49ers will be at home. But what I do like is if you're kind of trying to think ahead, maybe you don't put a waiver claim in for him. You don't put any fab on him. But if he goes through the waivers, you grab him and you stash him for the following week because then after that he'll be at home against the Tennessee Titans. And I think that'll be a juicy matchup for him then. Well, I would really like to stream Carson Wentz. Not next week, but the following week.
Sure. Yeah, I like that too. I put a note here. 49ers only 1 interception on the year. It gives a little extra confidence, maybe. All right, let's go on to T.Y. Hilton being back is big too. Carson Wentz has just been like you said, consistent. Not gonna lose you a week with the buys. Could be a possible ad for you. And then let's go on to Tua Taglaviola. I don't have that drop anymore, but
it's all right. Tua Taglaviola.
But when it comes down to it, last week, dude.
We talked about Tua on the last Waiver Wire episode when we were padding the wire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, you're right. I should give you this.
Pass the wire! Dude,
yeah, we got the drops back.
We got the drops back, baby.
Pass the wire!
Yeah, we talked about Tua Tagovailoa last week. I can't fucking. We talked about Tua last week, okay? About possibly adding him. He had a decent game, at least fantasy-wise, against the Jaguars. He had a really bad interception on one play, but besides that, what did he throw over 300 yards?
I mean, yeah, that interception was really bad. But, I mean, yeah, he had 329 passing yards. He gets you 2 touchdowns. He threw the ball 47 times. And this game was like – it wasn't like they were trailing. This game was pretty much like back and forth the whole time. But, yeah, 47 times, that's insane. So, yeah, as a Dolphins fan, I feel like the team is just all over the place. I mean, they lose to the Jaguars. Jaguars hadn't won a game in, 20 games in a row or something like that. But, no Xavier Howard, no Byron Jones, so Miami was out there starting corners, and then, no Devontae Parker, no Will Fuller on offense either. So those are 2 of the top 4 pass-catching weapons that they have for the Dolphins there. So hopefully Devontae Parker can come back this week. They'll be at home against the Falcons. The Falcons' pass defense isn't very good. It's a green-rated matchup in terms of, green-rated meaning good matchup, red meaning bad matchup. So, yeah, especially if Devontae Parker comes back, I do like Tua in this matchup at home against the Falcons. And then just even going forward, like I said, if they can get Fuller, Gesicki, we've seen Waddle be pretty explosive, or not explosive, but just a short, reliable guy who, who's getting a ton of catches. And then Parker back, if I said him or not. So just having those 4 guys there, I think is only going to boost Tua in his ability, because those are all guys who can make big plays, Yeah. So, yeah, I like Tua. I not the flashiest quarterback, but I think Tua is a very capable quarterback. And like I said, if we can get all 4 of these weapons for the Miami Dolphins on the field at the same time, because they have no run game.
Yeah.
Malcolm Brown is terrible. I don't know what they were thinking going for it on 4th down over there with Malcolm Brown. Gaskin obviously is the best running back out of the 3, but for whatever reason, the Miami coaching staff doesn't want to get their head out of their ass and play him. They want to play Savon Ahmed and Malcolm Brown over Myles Gaskin.
Yeah, it's like they want to do this weird – they want to do the committee thing, and it's just like you don't have a lot of ties to Myles Gaskin. Just give him the ball.
It's like I don't get it. Maybe Malcolm Brown's a better pass protector, so you want him out there to protect Tua because the Dolphins line isn't that good. Yeah, but on a 4th and whatever. But it's like, okay, I get it. But, bro, Gaskin was just coming off a 10-catch game for like 75 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Against the Bucs.
And then he gets the ball like 5 times this game. It's like, dude, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Hey, I did mention that last week when we said
you did. So
it's just sketchy.
I'm a little nervous with Gaskin now going forward, but yeah, I'm not mad at Tua grabbing him.
Nice. Yeah, I like. Let's just say
I like it.
You know what I mean? Let's go on to our next quarterback here. We got good old Matt Ryan.
Matty Ice.
Matt Ryan. Atlanta Falcons. Falcons come off the bye week, playing the Miami Dolphins in week 7. Let's see. We always talk about the Seahawks, how they're just giving it up to the passing part of the game. Miami's allowed the 3rd most yards. Passing yards, in comparison to the Seahawks, 4th most. So I think this is big, especially if Xavier Howard and Byron Jones are out. Matt Ryan is a solid play, I think. Trevor Lawrence was able to get stuff done in that game. So against the Dolphins, so I love it. And then the Dolphins have given up 13 passing touchdowns on the year in 6 weeks.
Very good.
So I mean, we like Tua, we like Matt Ryan. Does this mean we're betting the over on this game or what?
We'll see.
But yeah, I like Matt Ryan in this matchup. I got Matt Ryan and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, like I said, especially if Xavier Howard and Byron Jones are out,
that's like your defense.
The Falcons coming off a bye. We finally saw the Kyle Pitts breakout game, or what he's capable of, doing in the NFL at least. Obviously, Calvin Ridley wasn't there. Russell Gage was out as well, so kind of, he was the only last man standing there. So he, if he didn't have a good game, then you'd be hitting the panic button to see there. So Calvin Ridley's coming back from his quote unquote personal issues. We'll see if Russell Gage returns as well. But yeah, I mean, if all those guys are there, Ridley, Gage, Pitts, I mean, yeah, sign me up, because the Miami just, for a lack of a better word, looks like a shit show right now.
Yeah. It's what do they call it? Dumpster fire?
Yeah, dude.
Just kidding. It's not that bad.
Hot dumpster fire.
Yeah, Miami's over here.
I
Like,
just hope we can win a game.
that's what they think. That's what they think.
That is pretty true. That's pretty true.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one here. We got Teddy Bridgewater. We got Teddy Bridgewater is 16.9% owned in fantasy, so definitely available if you got some quarterbacks on bye weeks this week. They play the Browns. Last week, I know they was chasing. We were talking about this. Teddy Bridgewater did throw the ball 49 times. That's a lot. Even today, that's still a decent amount.
He threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
But he still got you 20 points.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's not terrible, you know?
Right. And so, the Browns, like, you might look at, like, their defense and get scared. But the thing is that the Browns have allowed 37 and 47 points the past 2 weeks. Obviously, those are some pretty good teams, but it's possible, is my point. The Browns, I feel like they just got a lot of running back injuries. Obviously, we'll talk about that later, but so that game, I definitely think you could possibly stream Teddy Bridgewater this week, Adam. I wouldn't put a fab in for Teddy Bridgewater though.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty safe for the most part. I mean, minus the game that he got hurt against Ravens, he got the concussion, and then the game where they just were at home and they smacked the Jets. They didn't have to throw the ball. I mean, he's gotten you 19 or more points in those 4 other games that he's played and finished. I'm not a big fan of this game, traveling to Cleveland. I know the Browns, like you said, have been giving it up a ton, but just a tough game on the road. I might be looking elsewhere. But what I do like is the following week they're at home against Washington, and Washington has just been giving it up
like Blair.
Like Blair, as we say. And, yeah, so I definitely like it going forward. I mean, he's had 260 or more passing yards and 2 or more touchdowns in those games that he's had 19 or more points, which is 4 of the 5 games he's started and finished. And they might be getting Jerry Jeudy back soon. I don't think he comes back this week, maybe not even the next week, but like if you're going to grab Teddy Bridgewater and hold on to him, eventually Jeudy will come back, and that's only going to boost this passing attack because we see, they have weapons.
They have a solid tight end too. So when you're playing against stout defenses, having a good tight end option is always money. So Noah Fant, always money. Browns also, by the way, Browns giving up 14 passing touchdowns. That's the fifth most. It's a lot. Yeah. But, yeah, I love it the next week after. That's awesome. Hey, did you like that video? No, not the one of Big Ben completely eating shit when nobody even touched him. I'm talking about our fantasy football video we just did. You just watched. Well, guess what? That was just a clip from the full audio podcast. So if you want to check out the whole thing, links down below. AVG Fantasy Football, Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, all of them. Anywhere you can get audio podcasts, we're there. Go ahead and check it out. And if you don't want to look at your fantasy team to look the way Big Ben does right here, wait for it. Come on, replay. This is your fantasy team. But that won't be your fantasy team if you subscribe to AVG Fantasy Football. So go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to the channel and like.